Hello, welcome back to the Love Beneath podcast, your daily dose of spiritual wisdom and channeled messages. I'm your host, Minazia Sheikh Al-Islami. Today we have a channeled message from the Fae. Yesterday, which you might notice I'm in the same outfit, that's because it's not yesterday for me. Hello, I'm Mina from the past. It is still the present moment for me. And I did that channeled message and I just immediately felt a follow-up message. But as always, I like to keep the podcast episode, I try to keep it under 15 minutes when possible, 20 at the max, just because I want people to be able to fit it in their day every day and have it be a daily connection, but not take up too much of your time. So, especially because a lot of them, you're going to want to listen to it a few times, especially the channeled message, so that you can really have it sink in. So today will be part 2, pretty much. That is a message from the Fae. So this time I will not be channeling, well, I might be channeling my higher self, but it might be a group effort this time. So let's get into it. Before we do, if you're watching on YouTube, like the video, subscribe. If you are listening to the podcast, please follow the show and leave me a review. Would be so appreciated. Thank you, thank you. Okay, let's do it. The first message coming in from the Fae, and this is especially if you have been interested in getting into earth magic, so working with earth elements, working with fire, water, earth, air, why do I feel like I'm missing one? Ether, or any other elements. A lot of other cultures have other elements included as well. Elements of the earth. And so the first message here, and they're wanting me to include that this is also if you already practice that, but you want to get a little deeper into your practice or want some different practices. So the first thing is ask yourself, which elements am I drawn to? Maybe you're drawn to fire the most, or water, maybe incense. Just think about elements of the earth, herbs, crystals. Which elements make you feel the most connected and make you feel the most excitement? And that is a reminder the Fae have for you, is that excitement is a huge frequency of the earth. The Fae are commonly associated with super high energy, buzzy excitement. If you are a channel or if you do readings, you know that that's sometimes how we know that Fae are present, because suddenly there'll be this almost childlike excitement around us. Not every Fae, obviously, there's tons of species, but when they see another human soul wanting to connect to the earth, they get really, really, really excited. So that's the first thing. Just think, and you can pause the video if you want to, or pause the show and just think about, what elements am I drawn to? The second step is to get in a space where you can quiet your mind. And they're specifically saying, try to do this at a time where you haven't had a lot of stimulants like caffeine, or, well, I guess that's what, like coffee or energy drink or something. See if you can be in a calm state. It might even help you to drink maybe a peppermint tea, chamomile tea, something that helps you to feel really grounded and rooted, and something that also opens your heart. So now I'm thinking to rose, something like that. Sit in a comfortable space and hold that item in your hands and just start to roll it around in your hands. So I'm actually going to do this live to show you a little more. They want me to do it with the sphere, but the sphere is kind of heavy. Okay, well, I'll do it anyway. Okay, so if you're listening to the podcast, I have this humongous sphere. I am rolling it around. It's a crystal sphere. I'm rolling it around in my hands. And so as you kind of move the item around in your hands, and again, you can listen to this through, and then when you're actually in the space, you can do it live with me, or you can pause the video and go do it now. So roll it around in your hands and just start to get a feeling. How does this item want to be used? So I'm seeing many of you with a stick of Palo Santo or like some type of incense or some type of herb. So this can be with anything. And so as I am practicing this in real time, now I'm doing it and I'm rolling this around in my hands. And immediately what I'm starting to feel an urge to scry with this, which is really interesting because I normally would not scry with something that I can't see through. And so this is really cool. I'm learning something too. So keep rolling it around. And this sense is clairsentience, a feeling, like you feel it in your body. You can also use claircognizance with this, which is just a knowingness. You just start to know, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. So try to use those two senses. You can obviously also use the clairaudience to hear, the clairvoyance to see, or various other ones. But there's a message of specifically try to work on your clairsentience, your feeling in your body. Because they're saying that what is going to be happening now on the earth is the chaos meter. This is word for word what they're saying. The chaos meter is going to be turned up to an all-time high. And this is meant to make people, quote unquote, go crazy so that they finally decide to come back to their body. So essentially, they're just making people stuck in the mind. They're going to make it so uncomfortable to be in there that they are actually forced to surrender and forced to come back to their home, quote unquote, of their body. And so this is not a warning for you, but an invitation for you to sit within your body now so that you kind of don't have to go through that whole process. And you might even be experiencing that now. I know at times my brain nowadays, it just feels so chaotic when I'm up there too much. And that's my reminder. Ooh, yeah, I gotta do some grounding practices and bring myself back down. So this is an immediate practice that you're being invited to by the Fae. So I'm going to do it one more time with a crystal that is smaller that I can handle more easily. So I'm rolling around, if you're listening, I'm rolling around a Lemurian quartz laser point. So yeah, just start to feel. And it almost feels like a craving. So immediately with this crystal, the craving that I'm feeling is to use it almost like a little sword and cut through energy cords, which is very interesting again, because normally I would not use a clear quartz point to do that because clear quartz is an amplifier. And so I would more use maybe like a selenite or a dark stone to do cord cutting and things like that. So again, kind of interesting. So just kind of goes to show that just because we collectively understand something to be one way doesn't mean that that's the only way. And there are other uses that sometimes are specifically to you, only for you to use it in that way, or only a few people to use it in that way. The last message here is to connect more deeply to your Fae council. And if you are drawn to everything else that I've said so far, you do have spirit guides that are Fae. And they're not going to appear, again, I'm just going to speak word for word what they're saying. They're not going to appear how you think. It's not a Tinkerbell situation. We think of them as fairies a lot. The ones, I'm just going to say it word for word. It's too hard to translate. We, the ones who actually want to help humans, we don't look the way you think we do. We are gigantic beings that look like a cross between a tree, a giant, and various other creatures. And so in many of your storybooks, we have been demonized and thought to be feared. And some of us are to be feared, and you will know that in your body. And that's why you need to practice clairsentience, because when one of us comes to you and you feel uneasy, that's a no. But when we come to you and you feel such love and kinship with us, then it shouldn't matter how we look, because you can trust that vibrational frequency that we are in the highest good and that we care about you and we want to help you. Okay, I'm coming back to me now. So when you sit with yourself and have your item that's from the earth, that can serve as a connection point where you can actually connect with these spirit guides. And you may have a full council, you may have a few spirit guides, they might be part of your soul family. Again, all of you are going to be different with this. And if you're new to channeling, it might take a second. Don't lose hope. It might just start as, just a feeling. It might start as a knowingness that, okay, I feel like they're around me, but I can't see them or hear them. And there might be some frustration there. And I only know that because I've been teaching people how to develop their spiritual and intuitive gifts for a long time now. So I've seen that whole progress from beginner to expert, advanced. So that's the biggest piece of advice if you want to accept this invitation today is you can be frustrated, but don't quit. You can be frustrated. Have hope, have faith. If you are listening to this message, it means that it's for you and that it's going to happen for you. Full stop. If you're more advanced already in your spiritual work, if you find it pretty easy to channel, if you already work with spirit guides, then this is definitely going to be probably the first time you do it, you're going to get it type of thing. And so just wherever you are in your skill level, don't worry, keep going. I'm being told to say it's your birthright to connect to earth and earth energy. So if you want to be more connected to the earth, if you want to practice earth magic, if you want to connect with beings of the earth, then so it is. And that's it. So I just felt called to say that. Don't let anyone tell you, or don't let anyone make you feel like you can't, or it's too hard, or it's weird, or whatever. There's a lot of stuff said about the Fae on the internet, and I respect everyone's opinion on it, and everyone has a different experience. And for me, it's always been true that there are negative Fae, and there are Fae that want to trick you. And I have been tricked by many of them in my years figuring it out. And you cannot fake vibration. You can't fake frequency. It's the same as humans, where you see a human, they have a smile on their face. They're like, hey, how are you? And you talk to them for a little while, and you just can't shake this feeling of like, they're so nice, but I feel something, like they're so great, but why do I feel kind of weird? And I almost feel like I'm trying to avoid them, or not, returning their text that soon. Why do I feel a resistance toward them? Because they're trying to kind of fake their frequency, right? They're trying to mask their frequency by showing disembodied energies. They can't do that. They don't have a body to do that. They're not in the third dimension. So when you feel something sit by you and you're immediately like, ooh, what is this? Sometimes when you're new to it, you're like, well, maybe this is how it's supposed to feel. They're a different vibration than me. Maybe, I don't know, I'm just learning. So I just want to tell you that, yeah, that's true. They will come and they will try to trick you. And I've done many Akashic record readings where the third eye in the crown is blocked because the person is afraid to see something weird, quote unquote. And that totally makes sense. And I say the same thing to every single person, which is, you can't avoid that. You can't pick and choose what entities come talk to you. You can't. All you can do is know that if you say, I don't want to engage with you, like that's it. They can't keep lingering. They got to go. You have to consent to every interaction. So you can very quickly just say, no, sorry, thank you, bye. And then open yourself up and just remember that the right Fae are going to feel like kin. Just like they said, they're going to feel like kin. They're going to feel like family. And that's, again, something I know to be true. And just a final piece here, as someone who has been working with the Fae for forever, and even as a kid, like feeling them, seeing them, like, I know I mentioned this in, I think, the first episode, like, I was the kid literally straight up talking to trees. I was the kid who I would not walk past certain trees because I was scared of them. I was so sensitive to all of this. So one thing I can say from that experience is your life will feel so much more full when you have these relationships with the earth beings. It's so worth it. And yes, demons will come see you and negative entities will come see you because they can feel that you're open and they're just trying to talk with anybody. But same with humans that are nefarious. A selfish person is not picky about their partner. They just want someone who's going to tolerate the selfishness. It's the same thing with with all these negative entities. They're not picky about what human they work with. They're just looking for a human who wants to work with them. They don't care who it is. So don't think that, it doesn't need to be scary, because if you tell them to go away sternly, they're fine to go away, because they're like, oh, I don't want to work with you. You got boundaries. I don't want boundaries. Like, I want someone who's going to give me what I want. So there's nothing to fear. And it seems scary, and I've definitely been visited in ways where I'm like, oh my God, I really do not feel good about this. I hate this. And it's always been a lesson for me in, okay, I got to dig deeper into my power in saying no and saying get out. So you will have those experiences. I'm not going to lie. You will have scary experiences, and it's always a lesson to learn and grow. And it's never a reason to not do it. It's never a reason to shut it down. Shut down your gifts. All right. Please, if you're watching on YouTube, please leave a comment if this resonated with you. If you've worked with the Fae before, if you want to work with them, let me know what your experience is or what tips and tricks you're going to use from this episode. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful to each one of you. I hope you have the best Friday ever, ever, ever. I did film this yesterday, like I said, because I wanted it to, well, it was coming in, but also I love the idea of having a podcast that's in the morning, so you can listen to it on your way to work, or I don't know. I love mornings. Mornings are when I come alive. So I'm going to start doing it this way, where I'm filming it a little bit ahead of time so that it can come out in the morning, and then I just promote it throughout the day on Instagram and what's that other place? TikTok. And then yeah, so that's how I'm going to go moving forward. So come on back Monday morning. I'll have another awesome message for you. And if you want to be deeper in this world, if you want to work with the earth more, earth magic, fae, all of that, please join my membership. The description will contain that link. And if you just want to try out a live sound ceremony, August 6th, I'm opening up our sound ceremony to everyone. So just do a one-time fee. You can come live. There will not be a replay available, so only sign up if you're able to come live. But it's a really cool way to get a taste of what it's like. And we do meet 4 times a month live. And yeah, it's really powerful. And it's a growing community, and it's really cool. So if you're interested in some high-level skills and information and working with me pretty much one-on-one, because it's a small group, that's a really good place to do it and meet some really awesome people. We have a Discord. It's really cool. So if you're interested, go ahead and you can find that link below. And see you on Monday. Love you. Bye-bye.